All right, principles of service connection. Principles of service connection. All right. You're currently being kind of on your way out, sir, in that space of being discharged. So you generalized a comment that other active duty members kind of tell you, oh, make sure you get everything in your record. What does that exactly mean? What injuries are we going after? How are they actually rating things? So the VA, what they rate off of, and what I mean by rating, I mean actually positioning you to be service connected and have a disability rating to the injury that you're asking for. They go off something called this 38 CFR. 38 CFR Part 4, what that is, that's a rating schedule on how they're able to assign percentages to each condition, okay? And again, that's the 38 CFR. However, they also utilize something called the WARMS manual, okay? Now, this manual here, this is the instructional Bible on how to do everything, okay? You have one that's providing you the assignments, and you have one actually providing you the SOP and also the understanding of how. And trust me, you're not gonna read the WARMS manual in one day. It's probably gonna take you about 13 years because it's always updating, okay? So make sure you understand that as well. But the core principle of service connection, you need to have a current diagnosis, one more time, a current diagnosis. What does a current diagnosis entail? A current diagnosis is something that transpired, and this is VA's terms, an injury that transpired within the last year. Within the last year. Most people are providing medical records from 2013. That does not provide a current diagnosis. That does not provide a current diagnosis. That is very important. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Great question. So it all depends, right? So sleep apnea is a chronic ailment, right? We understand sleep apnea is chronic. It's gonna get better if you use your CPAP. It's never going away. It's never going away. So it's a determinant on how chronic the issue is, and also if the issue can be diagnosed within the last year, okay? So that is the definition of a current diagnosis. You are active duty, so you have a lot of different aspects in regards to current diagnosis. One of your biggest things, and please take this, sir, this is free. I would never charge you for something like this, but make sure that everything on your separation exam is on your separation exam, and that's all I'm gonna say there. Very important. Make sure it's documented. All right, they're gonna give you that form before you get out, that 1806. Make sure it's completed thoroughly. You know what most people do? I'm out. Because everybody wants to get out of service. They think that's gonna hold them up. It's not. It's not. It does not hold you up and keep you back in time. Once your contract is done, you're done. Unless they have some type of other things legally that you're dealing with. But outside of that, no, you're done. Make sure you write down your ailments. Take your time. Take your time. All right? All right, current diagnosis. Now, injury or disease caused by service. Caused by service, all right? Caused by service. That doesn't mean it needs to be always in your records or happening during service. There's several many ailments that does not need a documentation while in service. It does not need to be documented. But again, if you hear the scuttlebutt talk, what do you say? Let's get everything in the records. Well, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But there's nuances to this. There's some nuances to this. Also, now we also must need, this is the biggest, a medical nexus. What is a medical nexus? Anyone? So, a medical nexus is this. You need a qualified physician to determine the length okay? A linkage of your injury that happened while in service to service connection. So it's a positive medical opinion. It's a medical opinion from a physician that's going to say, hey, this condition, this gentleman has hurt his right knee, right hip, right ankle, any of that, and it's related to military service. All right? So those are the 3 prongs of service connection. Those are the 3 prongs of service connection. Always remember it, never forget it. Okay? Whether if you're 20% or where you're 100%, never forget it, because if we're able to educate you and you're able to educate another veteran, we've done our job. All right? Now, next slide, please.